Okay, so before I start this next video, I have a pet peeve I have to address here. I threw these exercise bands into my suitcase. They went on an airplane, came back, and they're in a knot. I didn't tie them in a knot. However, they now are where you have to have actually looped in underneath and pulled to have this knot. I don't understand how that happens. I just really don't. I don't understand why the word knot has a silent K in front of it. It's a little pretentious. Anyway, this is not tangled, this is a knot. And I would love for somebody in the comments to explain to me how something that you don't push in, through, and around and tie, but just throw into a packet, whether it's an extension cord or a garden hose, it comes out in a knot. Okay, I'm done. I want to talk about fitness when you're traveling and some of the tips and hacks that are along the way that might help. So I'm over it. Let's go. Okay, so sometimes you go to a hotel and they've got a great gym, right? You go downstairs and it's a high-end gym. In some instances, there's even equipment you've never tried before. Maybe it's just a different brand of a similar exercise machine that you're familiar with, but you're able to get yourself a better workout, or at least a different workout than you've ever had before. Other times it can be a room in the corner of the hotel that's got, a dusty treadmill and a broken TV and a couple of mismatched dumbbells that you're trying to make do with. So the goal here is to try to give you some ideas for something to pack in your suitcase that doesn't take up a lot of space, and you're able to not have to be at the mercy of the amenities that are at the hotel. You're able to work out and stay on track regardless of what you got going on in the gym itself. I think that staying fit while you're on vacation shouldn't be about beating yourself up or sort of sticking to some rigid plan. There's just a few simple hacks along the way that you can keep your body moving with, you can protect your gains, and you can come home really feeling better than when you left. So that's what I want to try to show you how to do. It doesn't have to be overcomplicated. Yes, vacations are meant to be enjoyed, but you also don't want to go home with extra baggage. See what I did there? Anyway, the truth is, you can enjoy yourself and you can keep fit and you can maintain yourself at the same time. So it doesn't have to be a boot camp. This is going to be more about a kinder, gentler way to make sure you stay on track, stay in your right zone while you're away, so you come back not feeling like you have to start back from ground zero. So there are three kind of key components to staying on track without actually over obsessing about things. The first one is packable gear. You want to pack for success. I almost think of your suitcase as like a fitness toolbox, right? Resistance bands, jump rope, ankle and wrist weights, maybe a yoga mat. You're trying to find those things that you can use, that you can pack easily and lightly, that you can get a full body workout with. I will say with the resistance bands, you really have to be careful and make sure that you're doing them right. If you're not, I would make sure you book your hotel near a hospital, because that is not a good look, okay? I would also double check to be sure that there's not latex in the exercise band if you're sensitive to it, or if you have some sort of an allergic reaction to latex, gonna ruin your entire vacation. So I would make sure on the box, whether you go to Amazon or you go to the store, that you make sure it's not a latex product. I'm also going to include in the description below a really good book on exercise bands. I don't want to sit here and try to go through each one and become an instructional video. They did do it very well in this book, covering chest, shoulders, back, legs, squats, all the different things you can do to get a full body, good workout, 10 or 15 minutes in the morning. You're done, you got the rest of the day to yourself, and you can always look back and feel good that you did your workout. Also, a tip I would give you is make sure you kind of pack your stuff up towards the top of the bag. If they scan it and they see something that looks like ropes or whatever, they may pull it aside and they're going through your underwear, and nobody wants that. So those are the kind of things I would make sure you did. And so basically each one of these items does a specific thing. So the first one would be yoga mat. So having your own mat means you have a clean space that's just kind of your own thing that you can stretch. You can go out on the balcony and kind of do, or go poolside and do planks, and even, sneak away and just do a quiet meditation sort of thing. It's not by any means a basic, but it's a really good one to have if that's something you're comfortable with. It just gives you your own little space. It's not as easy to transport. You're gonna have to roll it up, and you've got a good size thing that may even turn out to be something you need to check,
in order to get where you're going, and it fills up too much of your suitcase otherwise. But I wanted to put it in there because I think that's a really good one. Second one is the jump rope. That's my secret weapon, man. It's light, it's easy to pack, it kills a lot of calories very quickly for you. You can get yourself in a rhythm and just kind of really zone out, put on your headphones or your earbuds and just jump rope for a while. It's a really good one. Get your heart rate up there. Everything about it is perfect, except for if you feel challenged with your balance and you're concerned that you might catch on it and trip. Obviously use your judgment as to what you think your abilities and your capabilities are. But if suitable for you, it's a really good one. Another one I would take outside if I were you. I don't think you want to sit in the 6th floor of a hotel room and jump rope and have somebody underneath wondering what the hell's going on. So maybe go out on a balcony, just don't fall off the balcony while you're jump roping, or go poolside, again, take it down there with you and get outside and do some jump roping. The last one is ankle weights. The downside to them is they add a lot of weight to the luggage. If depending on how many slugs you put into the strap, you could be at 15 or 20 pounds. You know, if there's 2 of them, that could be 30 or 40 pounds, and that's going to put you over weight limits on a lot of the suitcase stuff. So another one that's kind of sketchy in terms of how easily it is to bring with you, but they're really the unsung hero there. I mean, you can sit at the edge of your bed and do leg lifts. You can pump your arms and do biceps. You can put them on your wrists and go for a walk and just pump up and down. You can put them on your ankles and do that. So it's a real good one to just get a repetitive amount of a low amount of weight that eventually adds up to mean a pretty good workout. One thing I would say there too is I wouldn't, I keep saying, and I'm also talking very fast because everyone's got me anxious that I'm taking too long, and so I'm trying to speed it up, and yeah, you guys got in my head. Okay, what was I saying? Oh, I think that in the morning, if you have a pre-planned circuit, you're going to go get a cup of coffee, you're going to walk around the beach, you're going to come back to the hotel and get ready for your day, then the ankle weights or the wrist weights are great. Don't take them with you as you start your day where you're going to be out for the whole day. You're going to get exhausted wearing them. Even if you're going with your husband or your wife and you take turns with it, it's still going to get something that after a while you're going to want to throw back in your backpack or whatever you're carrying with you. And that just gets tedious. It's, again, it could be 30 or 40 pounds in there. You want to go to a restaurant, you want to go into a shop or something, and now you're kind of dragging this thing around. So another one that has some pros and cons to it, but it's a real good one to make sure it's not like you have to pack a dumbbell into your suitcase. They're strapped, they're flat, but again, they weigh a little bit. I put a link in the description below to the ones that I use. They are by no means the only ones that exist at all. The world is full of all kinds of different brands of that stuff. So the link will send you to Amazon. You know, feel free to look around and see what you want, or maybe you already have your own, but those are the ones I personally use. And then lastly, okay, I lied. I'm going to break this into 2 parts. So it's a 3A and then a 3B, and then I'm done, I promise. So the next one is outdoor stuff, local options, right? Hiking and walking. You don't need to have dumbbells in your hands all the time, especially when you're out somewhere where you can do walking tours, you can go on hikes, just explore a new city. You know, all of that stuff is cardio in disguise. You put on your earbuds, you catch up on the podcast that you haven't listened to in a while, and just go do it. Get outside, do what the locals do. One of the best parts, I think, of traveling is just exploring. So just turn that into your workout. You know, go for a morning walk before the sun turns up the heat too much. Rent a bike, take a hike, just wander the local streets. All of that stuff helps you burn extra calories. And, you know, if you get lost like I always do on these walks, then you're burning more calories as you have to backtrack to get back to your hotel. The other part is swimming. So if the hotel has a pool, great. Better yet, if you're near the ocean, get in it. Walk against the tide, walk sideways in the beach as fast as you can at knee height depth of water. Just let the resistance of the water pushing against you do the work. It's your gym right there on the spot. So I would definitely try to do that. And then, you know, swimming will work out everything. I wouldn't necessarily swim in the ocean unless you're comfortable with the waves and stuff. It can be a little sketchy, but certainly in a pool, right? You can do laps. And then at the end of it, you know, swim up to the swim bar and have yourself a drink and relax. So that brings me to the last one, I promise. So as I mentioned before, most hotels are going to have some kind of gym in them. You know, if that turns out badly and you really feel like you need a good workout, then do some research before you rent the room, before you choose the hotel. Most of the time you can go online, you know, and look at a website of that hotel. They'll have a picture or maybe even sometimes a video of the amenities, and you can get a feel for whether this is going to be a good quality gym or not. And then you make your decision based on that. You can always call ahead to the front desk or the concierge, ask them about the gym. They're also there to help, so ask them about where's the local gyms around there. Do you know anyone who does a day pass? A lot of times you can just reach out to those gyms, big or small, and say, look, I'm only here for a week, I'm only here for a month, whatever the term is. Can I have a membership? And almost always they're going to accommodate you and find a way to include you. And they're not looking to blacklist people who don't have a yearly membership. So that's a good way to go too. And the last thing I would say as a tip is get it done early. If you're going to decide to do that quick workout in the middle of the day, it's just not going to happen. It's going to turn into a nap instead by the pool. So really the trick is when you wake up, the motivation's there and the energy is there. Just go ahead, get out, do it, and the rest of the day you're going to feel amazing that you did. So the last piece here is just reminding you guys that this isn't about perfection. This isn't about the fact that this doesn't look exactly like the routine that you do at home and that you're not working as hard as you would if you had gone to the gym. The point is you're out here and you're doing something and you're keeping it in the forefront of your mind and you're staying motivated and you're staying moving so that when you get back home, you don't get in that mindset where you feel like, I'm going to have to start from scratch. I'm going to start from zero again. Because the reality is you'll probably spend weeks and weeks after you've gotten back from vacation working up the energy to sort of get back in the gym again. So it can be a huge sort of sideline if you let it be. If you just stay active and you just say to yourself, you know what, I did this, this, and this while I was at my vacation. I don't feel like I dropped the ball and I'm ready to get back in there and go. So that's pretty much it for me. I'm enjoying doing these. I'm going to keep doing them. If you have a friend, you know, that's that guy that always goes away on vacation and says, well, I can't, I have to stop. Maybe share this video with him. Like, subscribe. If you guys are going to buy something from Amazon to bring with you, if this inspired you to pick up a jump rope or an exercise band, use the link below for me if you could. It helps me out. And the liking and the subscribing, it helps me on the algorithm with YouTube. So yeah, that's my salesy stuff. But at the end of it all, I'm really here to try to teach and motivate and have part of a community with you guys. So I'll be back with another video. I'm not actually sure what it's going to be. So if anyone wants to leave a comment with some ideas for what a nice topic would be happy to hear it. But again, that's it for now. My wife and I are heading out to San Diego next week. So I'm going to try to get a video in the can, as us professionals say, before I leave and have that one auto send. So I'm going to try to consistently be sending something out every week, trying to keep the ball rolling, try to keep everybody motivated and just get a little better at this as I go along. So that's it. I'm out for now and thanks for listening.